Thanks a lot. I was to come for the morning session because I had some other meeting. I couldn't come. The organizers wanted that I should share some of my views about Delhi and especially about smart city. So I'll just take 5 minutes. Just now I was talking to Ms. Aparna Das about the amount being spent on the city by the various agencies. So I give you 3 chances. Can anyone tell me how much amount being spent on the city by various agencies, including the salary of government servants? Can anyone? Yes, in Delhi. Sorry? Tell me. Yeah, 1,000. Yes. Anyone else? So I shared with Aparna just now. You would be shocked if you look into the both non-plan and plan expenditure by Delhi government, municipal corporation, NDMC, and DDA. I said including the salaries, it is not less than 40,000 crores annually. Not many cities in the world spends that much amount. And yet, look around the city. Can we say it's a world-class city? That was my effort when I was in service, to make the city world-class. That's why when I came, as soon as we had, because I was with the Chief Minister as her Principal Secretary 5.5 years, then I became Chief Secretary. We tried to galvanize the city, provide urban infrastructure. Yet, today when I look around, we're nowhere near the world city. Why? Aparna just mentioned one reason. We don't have data. Even if you have data, we don't share. And that is the major problem. See, no one aggregates the total amount being spent on the city, because then there will be questions. If everyone knows around 30,000-40,000 crores is being spent every year, people would ask questions. That's why we don't get this aggregate figure anywhere. There, the use of IT comes in a big way. But what happened to IT? Wherever I go, I introduce information technology for the reason it will provide openness and participation. That's why when we design Bhagidari. If we want to solve the problems of major cities in India, because the cities are in the hands of vested interest, it's in the hands of some of the politicians, some of the bureaucrats, engineers, town planners, and you name anyone. So there are a lot of vested interests in the country, in every city. And that vested interest doesn't allow openness and transparency. So we have to first, all of us should aim at bringing openness and transparency in city administration. And for that we have to use IT. But I blame the IT companies, because I have been in the field of IT for a number of years. The companies have come and promised moon to the departments, and they have delivered nothing. That is why today, one of the speakers mentioned, you automate everything and still the process is the same. If you go to the transport department, you have to stand in the queue. You can't get the licenses sitting at home. You should come only for the test and then give the test and go home, and the license should be delivered to you. But it doesn't take place. Because it doesn't take place, because the re-engineering process has not taken place. Why it has not taken place? Because many of the vendors have come and sold their products which have not integrated. There is no integrated, the architecture is different, the platforms are different, so we could not integrate. Therefore, the services are not being provided across one window. All these things have to be corrected, and how we can correct it, as I said again and again, unless and until we break the vested interest, we can't correct. She correctly said when she talked about the toilets, the figures are available with officials. How many toilets are there in the city? They know it, but they will not part with that information, because then the tendering process they have to manipulate. If you give the correct figure, then they can't manipulate the tender. This is the problem. So if we have to get over all these problems, we have to aim at it. That is the first and most important thing. Unfortunately, the director of the institute has left. Fortunately, you are here. Try to bring in openness and transparency in city administration. If you do it, your journey or your program will be successful. Otherwise, we will be spending same amount. As I was telling, in the first Yamuna action plan, the municipal corporation spent around 600 crores, but find out where are the toilets. And I tried as a chief secretary, I couldn't get the information. 2 years I tried. By then I retired. So Aparna, you will be trying another 4 years to get that information. So what I am saying, if we want to avoid, if we want to have a smart city, somehow we have to bring in openness and transparency in administration. How you achieve, that's the challenge to many of the IT companies, many of the administrators here, and including to me. That's all I would like to share with you. Thanks for your patience. And I'm willing to answer any questions if you want, because there are many speakers who are going to, yeah, 1 or 2 questions.
Sir, you talked about re-engineering of the processes for these departments. I worked for a government project around 4 years back. I don't know the current state of the...
Which project? You tell me, in Delhi?
Yeah, in Delhi.
Yeah, tell me. Which one?
So it was MCA project.
Huh?
MCA project done by TCS. Yeah, so I was working for TCS prior to this.
Uh-huh.
So one of the major hurdles we faced was like, decision is taken at the top level, and the decision was taken, let's automate the processes. But when it came to the implementation level, the people who were supposed to implement it, they were not ready for the process re-engineering. Instead of that, we adopted, the software adopted the processes they were doing, and we knew that it is not very efficient, right?
See, the city at any point in time will not be ready for a business re-engineering. You try your best, because once you do it, the lot of vested interests will be broken. So they will not allow it, but you can't go through it. You know how you have to go about it. This is what I've been telling the companies, but the companies are not willing to invest that much money and time. And rightly so, because we can't expect them to do it. The only way to do it, you have to map everything as she was doing. And you yourself has to do it. Then only you can bring in the re-engineering process. You have to have a domain expert. Merely creating a software will not solve. It will only automate it, it will not re-engineer. And then any change in any policy directions, the software goes out of order. Then again the people come back to the manual handling. So it's very difficult. If you have to do it, somebody has to, some company has to invest. Otherwise the government is not going to do the re-engineering process. I have tried it for 20 years. I'm not sad about it, but we have to keep going. We have to keep going. One day I hope it will happen. Yes. All right? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.